A real life example of an indexed annuity. All right, so my man, we'll call him Fred. Old Freddie Flintstone. Velma! You youngins don't know what that is. You youngins don't know who Freddie Flintstone is. All right, just one of the funniest cartoons ever. All right. Anyway, so Freddie Flintstone sent me this to me, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So I want to share with you, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So this is what he's got. He just sent this to me today. Accumulation value is 185. Cash surrender value is 164 because there's a 10-year surrender charge, and it costs him basically $21,000 to surrender this product. Now, everyone will scream bloody murder about that, but I guarantee, if you gave a true serum to any investment manager, they said, would you like to have a surrender charge on your mutual fund, ETF, hedge fund, all this? They'd all say yes. They all say yes. The reason why, because those surrender charges keep you invested. I'm telling you, right, the drawback about brokerage accounts relative to IRAs and whatnot is that a brokerage account is liquid. You don't have to be 59 and a half. There's no surrender charges. You can take it out whenever you want. An IRA, because at 10%, it's all 10%. I mean, someone should do an economic behavioral finance of that. That 10% enough keeps you saying, yeah, I'm going to leave my money in there. I don't want to pay an extra 10%. Isn't that crazy? Brokerage account doesn't have that, so brokerage accounts will be easier accessible, which means you'll access it for easier stuff, i.e. pay your taxes, like what I did last year. I had a lot of money sitting in a brokerage account. Don't have a lot of money in it anymore because I had to pay a big tax hit. Anyway, so isn't that interesting? So people are like, oh, the cash rent, I get it. I know you want liquidity. Now you'll see free withdrawal amount, he got access to 10%. Not 10% of this amount, actually. This is 10% of his initial deposit. So initially he put in $188,000, and he did it in 2022, I think is what he said. 2022. And now it's worth 185. All right. So he has 10% of his initial deposit put in there. But if he would take the whole thing out, it cost him $21,000. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Protected income value. That's where it gets interesting. And this isn't just for top of the morning to you drinking my decaf tea. Peppermint. Here you go. Top of the morning to you. That's where it gets interesting. So let's bring it over here, and we're going to talk about my man Fred. All right, so come follow me to my thing. I'm all done with my course, by the way. The videos, they're all looking pretty good. They sound good. I'm very happy with it. So we'll be working on the getting all those videos uploaded here the next couple of days. I actually do have a mic for the course, so it sounds better than what you're hearing right now. This is some of the stuff we're going to talk about. I mean, there's going to be like 30 videos of that course, my friends. 30 videos. I think on average like 20 minutes per video. It's freaking nuts, dude. I was just going off. It's an investment course. All right. But again, I use a mic, whereas right now I'm not using a mic. I guess I could have plugged in. I didn't think about it until right this second. All right, so my man's guy, he put $188,000. Let me just show you too, by the way. What did he do? Did he say 2022, I think is what he said. Hold on a sec, we pause. Actually, it was in July of 2021 is when he started. So here I'm just using political calculations, the S&P 500 at your fingertips. I just freaking love this. I don't know what I'd do without these guys. Anyway, you can see right here, we're going to start in July of 2021, which is when he started. And right now, if you would have invested money in the S&P 500, you would have received an annualized 4.58% a year with dividends reinvested. Now, index annuities, they don't reinvest dividends, so you'd only get 2.98. So he is behind where he would be in the S&P 500. No one's going to deny that. I mean, if anyone argues, that's what I hate about the index people, the index annuity people. You get equity-like returns. It's impossible to get equity-like returns with those fees. It's just you can't do that. I mean, you might do better than bonds, but they're not going to be equity-like returns. I hate that. It drives me up the wall. They're just not, man. The fees are too high. What do the fees cover? Well, the fees cover this right here. This thing right here, protected income value. And I do talk about this, by the way, in my course, index annuities. I talk about fixed annuities, variable annuities, income annuities, and index annuities. So the fees cover this. What is the protected value, income value? All right, so let me just give you an example of this. So in this case, my man dropped $188,000 in. He got a 25% protected income bonus on the front end. So that meant if you take, where'd my calculator go? Hold on a sec. Take this times 1.25. we get 235 protected income value. All right, PIV, protected income value. Now, right now it's 238 because there was a little bit of growth in there. Not much, but a little bit of growth on the income value. The account value actually went down because of fees and whatnot, but the protected income value went up a little bit. I mean, again, we're talking minimals here, but what this means, and this is a single guy, old Freddie Flintstone single. What this means is he can take an income stream based on this that will live as long as he does, regardless of what happens to this. If this went to zero, and not likely that were to happen, he would still get an income benefit off the protected income value. And the income benefits can be based on how old he is. So basically, I want to say 4%, 60 to 64 is 4%, 65 to 70 is 4.5, over 70 is 5%, something like that. So he'd be guaranteed now, and he's not anywhere near 70 years old right now, right? But as we sit here today, if this did nothing or even went down, he'd be guaranteed to get 5% a year off this amount right there. If nothing else happened, with no downside at all, he'd be guaranteed to get 5% a year. So it's 238 times 0.05. That's $12,000 roughly a year off initial deposit of 188 without any downside risk. Could never go down. Might never go up either, but we don't know. That's a 6.3% distribution rate on that. Now, is that good? Not necessarily. Is it bad? No, it's not bad. It could be much more. It probably will, actually, because at the end of the day, this account value should go up. Even though it has gone down, the initial part of it, it should go up. We don't know, man. We don't know. But it should go up. Now, he's got these crazy complex participation rates. I can't follow that stuff. I'm just like, yeah. But I would think this would go up. Now, I don't know if his PIE, protected income value, is guaranteed to go up or not. I don't know how that works. I just know from right now, if nothing changes, he's guaranteed to get $11,900 a year off this guy, regardless of what happens to this when he's 70 years old. Like, off the top of my head, I can't remember how old he is. I just don't recall. He's not 40 or anything like that. So that's not bad. That's the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Now, there might not be any residual value here when he dies. He doesn't care. He's got no kids. He doesn't got a wife. He's like, whatever, dude. I want to maximize my income stream. Now, he can make an argument. He could take this right now and do a SPIA, an income annuity. He could say, I'm just doing an income annuity. I mean, an income annuity right now, I don't know if it's going to be paying 6.3. It could, but there's no upside on the income annuity. There just isn't any. Now, I don't know exactly if there's any upside in the death benefit. A lot of times there are. A lot of times the death benefit can increase as the contract value increases. As the contract value increases, the death benefit can increase. So the facts are, right now, we can see the fees on this annuity, hold on a sec, are running right about 3%. How do I know? Because the index return of without dividends 2.98. All right, so we know that if we don't add the dividends to the portfolio, we know the index return without dividends is 2.98. The fact he's down 188 and his contract value is 185, the total contract fees are about 3%, because essentially without the index, without the dividends, he would have made 2.98. But because he didn't actually get 2.98, he's actually down a little bit. It's probably costing right about 3% total. All right, so he didn't break even. He's pretty doggone close. 3% total for this right here. Now, you can argue, say that's horrible. I don't care. You can make an argument any day of the week. The question is, what are we trying to do with our money? Are we trying to maximize the income? Are we trying to maximize the death benefit, the cash value, essentially, the death benefit, how much you leave? So in this case, if we look at, let's go to Portfolio Visualizer, and we're going to go to, see, Portfolio Visualizer doesn't let me go year over year, month to month. So we're going to say we put $188,000 in the total stock. Actually, we're going to do the S&P 500 VOO right there. And what would this guy be worth today, starting in 2021? and $188,000 would be worth $250. All right, so basically, if we're trying to maximize income, this almost kept up with the S&P 500. And again, that was beginning of 2021. It's not a fair apples to apples. So let's do the beginning of 2022. Just kind of get a basis here. Wait, what did we say it was? It was 250. All right, 250. Actually, at the beginning of 20. Right, here we go. Right there, July of 20. Right there. 222. So 188 would have grown to 222 in July of. That's still not going to work. 222. Okay. So just keep that in your mind. So we grew from 188 to 222. That's $34,000. All right, keep that in your mind. Now we're going to start in 2022. What would have been worth? And right there, 188. It would actually been worth two. Look at that, just barely breaking even there. So the S&P 500 starting in July of 2021 would have been worth. Hold on a second. Right there, 2021, 222 is what 188 would have been, and then we come down to 250. So he would have made some money in there, not much though. He only made 222 to 250. So if he started 188, it would have given him, I mean, what's that, $30,000 of rate of return? Not even, about $28,000. So he would be ahead about $25,000, give or take, on this right here, starting in July of 2021. But he'd be below this right here. That's just a fact. I'm not here to say you should do these things. Trust me. He sent me the contract like, I can't. This makes my caveman head explode. I'm like, I'm just a caveman from Maine. I don't understand your ways. Well, I don't get it. And I don't. I mean, I just like, dude, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? I just hope the guy who represented it to him understood it. But I got a general gist of this. Now, what happens a lot of times with these annuities, and that was not, again, most of the time, the other way you do annuities, be it income or being a variable or index annuities, is that what will happen is you start with a base, and a cash value base, and an income base. And a lot of times you're going to buy a future income base, so we'll just say grows at 7% a year. So by the time 10 years comes around, you got a guaranteed minimum of $200,000 in there. So let's just say you're 60 years old. You say, I'm going to buy an income. I'm going to buy a variable or an index annuity. This is my cash value. This is my income. There are two completely different sides of the same contract, and a lot of people mix them up. They're not. This cash value can be anything. It could be $92,000, it could be $192,000, it could be anything. It's just based on the performance of the mutual funds, what's called sub-accounts inside that annuity. This right here, on the other hand, is a contractual guarantee, and again, every single contract is different. This is a contractual guarantee. If it's growing at 7% a year, just use that for example, it will be worth $200,000 at the end of 10 years. And then you can take, again, if you're 70 years old, 5% a year. That's $10,000 a year right there. $10,000 a year. Regardless of what this guy does. $10,000 a year regardless. Now, if this guy grows more, say it's worth, it's worth $250,000. That will most likely increase your guaranteed income base. All right. Now, again, every contract is different, but let's just say it has an annual step up on a guaranteed income base from the contract value. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Every contract is different. Well, now your guaranteed income base is $250,000. So $250,000 at 5% is what? $12,500. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because our fees are so, again, just going back, there are higher fees. But let's just say it's $225,000. There's a good chance. I don't know if it's a good chance. I don't. It's going to be tough to get a variable annuity to beat a 7% guaranteed income base, just because of the fees. But what if you just have a decade like the S&P 500 in 2010? I mean, if you would have, just look at this again. I can't stress this enough. In the S&P 500 in 2000 to 2009, a perfect example right here. We put 100,000 schmackaroonies in. You make me feel like dancing, gonna dance the night away. You make me feel like romancing, but I got no girlfriend to romance with me. My wife says you're too old and ugly, and so I'm just all by myself. But I got Pablo and Finny. All right, so look, we got $90,000 in the S&P 500. So you put $100,000. And this guy is down to $95,000. $90,000, excuse me. 90,000 schmackaroonies. This guy up here has got a guaranteed income base of $200,000. $200,000. So now I'm getting 10%, 10,000 a year. Oh boy, here comes somebody. Hi, big boy. Hi. I'm getting 10,000 a year off this guy, but my account value is only $90,000. Come on, Pablo, you can come down. Pablo's scared to come downstairs now because he fell down the stairs the other day. Come on, baby. Now, could that happen? I don't know. It happened just 2 decades ago. Could it happen again? Absolutely. Now, people say, yeah, but dude, what about the other side? You're selling fears. I hate that crap, too. You're selling fear. I'm selling reality, dude. I'm selling reality. So let's say you did 2010 to 2023. And now we got 100,000. Yeah, see, look at the difference. Now it's at 551,000. So you would not have wanted to do the index annuity because this went from 100 to 550. This only went, I don't know what would happen with this contract. I just don't know in terms of guaranteed minimum income benefit, GMIB. I don't know. I presume that probably went up as well. So they give you less of the upside and much less of the downside. That's just a fact. I don't think the guaranteed minimum income benefit would be stagnant at $200,000 over the last 13 years. I think it would keep going up. I like these things, not gonna lie to you. Am I gonna do one? Maybe. I won't do one to everything, but certainly I have some naked accounts. Naked means that no income, no annuity protection, no insurance, just naked S&P 500 or VTI, total stock index. But come here, Finn. But also I'm gonna have I probably will have an annuity just to guarantee my minimum income base from when I'm 60. And only 7 short years. Come here, Finn. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. Come say hi. Come here. Uppy. Pablo, come here, Finn. Come here. Uppy. Come on. Watch this. Come on. Up. Finn. Come here. Come on. Oh, there he goes. Look at him. Can you see him? Anyway. That's a real world example for old Freddie Flintstone there. Freddie Fox. You all know who Freddie Fox was. Anyway, that'd be of interest. And these kind of videos we do in my course. So I'll be working on publishing them this whole week. I want to have it done because the videos are done. Now I just got to get it uploaded. And I got to get some verbiage into my sales pitch. So you say, that guy Josh, he's all right. I want to purchase his course. All right. God bless. We'll see you.